Join us in the fight to restore liberty and American exceptionalism. Together, let's make the case that our charters of freedom are worth defending and honoring. Right here is where the great American experiment comes alive. Let's get to work. The Constitution is a complex maze of booby traps designed to stop tyranny in its tracks. Think about that. The Constitution is a complex maze of booby traps designed to stop tyranny in its tracks. Well, that begs the question then, why is there tyranny if the Constitution is designed to stop tyranny? Very simple. Can the Constitution defend itself? No. Can freedom defend itself? No. Only a vigilant, courageous, and knowledgeable people can defend this document. We've got to wake up to this document. We've got to understand how it operates. We've got to be able to use it as a sword and a shield. The reason why there's tyranny is because we haven't engaged the document. We've disengaged it. We've said, do whatever you want. Go ahead and move forward with those executive orders. Go ahead and abuse the Commerce Clause. Go ahead and abuse the Second Amendment. It's all good because we won't do anything about it. We'll make sure you get to keep your job. It's going to be just fine if you violate your oath. The way this document is designed to work is to stop these tyrants. The way that it's supposed to work is that when tyrants do what it is that they're not permitted to do under this document, we kick them out. That's what you do. And so we can see a couple of people in Washington, D.C. today. When we talk about division of power and separation of authority, you can look at a guy like, let's say, Congressman Jim Clyburn, South Carolina. He's being interviewed by Andrew Napolitano, and Andrew Napolitano asked him the question, where in the Constitution do you have the authority to enact a piece of legislation like health care? And he says, tell me where in the Constitution. I says, I can't, number one. And number two, he says, most of what we do in Washington, D.C. is not permitted by the Constitution anyways. He had no problem saying that on national TV because the trap is disengaged. 200 years ago, we would have hanged somebody like that. And I'm not advocating that in 2014. I'm advocating kick him out. But this is a guy that says, most of what we do in D.C. is not permitted by the Constitution anyways, and then he's pressed a little bit and he says, well, tell me where I can't. This is a guy who has not read Article 1, Section 1 of the Constitution that says, again, all legislative powers herein granted. This is a guy that hasn't read the 10th Amendment that says, if it doesn't say you can do it, you can't do it. End of story. But yet we allow this guy to keep his job. And he is the rule right now in America, not the exception. We've got to awaken Americans as to what is going on and why this document is so important to defend today. And so you have people like Jim Clyburn. Enumeration of rights. See, this isn't a D or an R problem. Both of them are guilty. I mean, think about this guy, Senator Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham, I don't know why they don't boot him out. I mean, he has an R at the end of his name. He has an R at the end of his name. He doesn't understand the Constitution. He probably hasn't read the platform. And we know this because of what happened just after the news broke on the Verizon records by the NSA. He went on national TV and said, I'm not talking to terrorists. You're not talking to terrorists. I don't really have anything to hide. I think it's great what the NSA is doing. You know what he just did? He just undermined the Fourth Amendment. He just undermined the right to be left alone. He just told America that the Fourth Amendment is designed to protect those things that are criminal in nature. This is a man that fundamentally misunderstands the Fourth Amendment. The Fourth Amendment isn't designed to protect just information that's criminal in nature. It's designed to protect your ability and my ability to control information. So if I wish I could have a debate with Lindsey Graham. It would be great lunch, maybe a great snack for me. I would love to have this discussion with him. Because here's what I would say. I would say, Senator Graham, you say you have nothing to hide. Therefore, what the NSA is doing, you're just fine with. So here's what I'm going to invite you to do. Will you please remove the curtains from your home, from your bathroom, from your front room. Oh, you won't? What do you got to hide, Senator Graham? You said you didn't have anything to hide. If you don't have anything to hide, then you're going to go ahead and allow the government to do it. Open up the windows. What, do you got something criminal going on inside? Oh, you want to be left alone. You want privacy. Precisely, and that's what we Americans want too. Stop advocating these ideas. And this is a problem. These are the types of things we need to come forward with and to make it relevant to our fellow Americans. See, because if we would have had Republicans going out and going after a guy like Lindsey Graham and talking about taking the curtains off of your home, now it becomes relevant. I remember the day that happened where Senator Lindsey Graham came out and made that statement. I went into my college classroom and I threw it up on the board for them to watch. And my students initially agreed with them. They agreed with him until I asked the question, remove the curtains from your home. Then they get it. It's relevant to them. But right now we're being told, well, it's a public safety issue. No, this is an individual liberty issue. This is what it's about, individual liberty. And you have individuals in Washington, D.C. who have bought into the idea that public safety is more important than individual liberty. This is going on all over the country, within the Republican Party, within the Democrat Party. College campuses all over the country are teaching kids that public safety is more important than individual liberty. Nothing could be further from the truth. In fact, it was Benjamin Franklin who said, if you're willing to give up your liberty for security, you deserve neither. And yet you have Senator Lindsey Graham getting up there and spewing the mantra that public safety is more important here. It's okay to undermine the Fourth Amendment. Kick these guys out. Remove them from office. And so if we have these two principles, number one, good government relies on a recognition that our freedoms are inherent. Number two, you must have a constitution. And that constitution has to embrace two very, very important principles: separation of power and the enumeration of rights. Put government on notice, stay away from these things. Well, if those are the first two, what's number three? Right here. This is my Constitution. My Constitution, Declaration of Independence, Federalist Papers. It's a document that I spend a lot of time reading. I enjoy it. I enjoy talking about it. I enjoy lecturing on it. I enjoy debating. In fact, this is a great document here. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is a great document. Yeah, see, here's the point, ladies and gentlemen. Who gives life to this document? We do. We're the power within this document. The fire represents us. If we don't decide that we're going to defend this document, it is a dead letter. It's parchment paper.